Hi, I'm Nix, and this is a little visual novel called Butterfly Effect. It's a free game available on itch.io. I've got the link in the description, all that normal stuff. It's one of my favorite things that I've read recently, and so I decided as a fun project I was going to dub the whole thing. This is not a traditional Let's Play in the sense that I'm not going to be providing any commentary. I'm just going to be reading it to you, so hopefully that's something that you enjoy. Not quite ASMR, but just some nice reading. Pretend it's a bedtime story, except it gets a little intense. One more thing before we start. This game does contain depictions of sexual violence. It's not pornographic, but if that is something that potentially triggers you or bothers you, please refer to the game's page that I have in the description and check out the developer's more complete content warnings so that you can decide for yourself if this is something that you want to experience. If it is, let's begin. It's so soft and fragrant. You're so cute. Oh, I'm in heaven. This angel is cradling my head in her delicate hands, looming over me with a serene smile on her plush pink lips. There's something heavy yet unspoken between us. That's fine by me. A girl this gorgeous doesn't need to be articulate to convey what she wants, what she needs. Her greedy hands coast along the bare skin of my shoulders. Her breath tickles my ear. I shiver, feeling the tip of her playful tongue taste the cartilage, tempted to take a shy nibble. Hey, Damien? Yes? What is it? Quit smiling like that. It's creepy. I don't think the girl of my dreams would say something like that. That's all it takes for the warm hand on my skin to feel cruel and unfamiliar as slender fingers migrate up the nape of my neck to the back of my head. With a sweet smile still plastered on her face, my perfect angel grabs my hair and yanks hard. Hot tears blur the scene before me. Everything is ruined. In the split second before my eyes open, I see a delicate, trembling, closed fist grasping torn-out tufts of hair and bloody scalp, and then long eyelashes, surprisingly smooth skin, and the musky scent of men's body wash? I let out an admittedly undignified shout and scramble backward on my rickety top bunk. The bed frame groans in protest, but is steadied by the person lazily hanging from halfway up the ladder. Did you pull my hair? What the hell, man? The cramped dorm is filled with the familiar sound of Marshall, my roommate, having a laugh at my expense. Good dream. Must have been to get you drooling and sighing like a lovesick puppy. In the middle of the afternoon, too. I reflexively wipe my mouth with the back of my hand, which makes him laugh harder. No drool. This prick just can't seem to resist messing with me. Unfortunately, he's the only friend I've made after almost 2 months into my freshman year of college. I'd say he's just as stuck with me as I am with him, but anyway, I gotta head out to class. You should grab whatever you'll need for the rest of the day when you leave. I have a date tonight, and you'll totally kill the mood if you have to sneak in and grab a library book or something while I'm working my magic. He doesn't seem to think that living together warrants any amount of common courtesy or general solidarity. It should probably annoy me to get unceremoniously kicked out of my own room so often, but I can't deny my begrudging respect for Marshall and his many conquests. If I can get her to come over and check out some DVDs, it'll turn into an X-rated marathon real fast, you know what I mean? Crudeness aside, I'd kill for his luck with girls. Ever since the start of the semester, they seem to come out of the woodwork for him. I'm not even sure I've seen him with the same one twice. Self-pity must be leaking into my half-awake frown, because Marshall scoffs. I guess you don't know. What else can you expect from a college guy who doesn't know what a sock on the doorknob means? Even if I had the words to argue with him, they would struggle to form as I simultaneously relive the first time I accidentally walked in on him with one of his dates. The only other person besides me that's seen Marshall's most intimate crevices up close is surely his primary care physician. He doesn't even seem embarrassed about it, which feeds my mortification like lighter fluid on a campfire. I let out an awkward cough, scrambling for a way to redirect the conversation. Why don't you ever go to their places instead? Is it some kind of pickup artist rule? Something about my question makes him narrow his eyes, as if unable to gauge its seriousness. First of all, stop trying to act like you know what a pickup artist is. You're embarrassing yourself. Second, those dorks don't have nothing on me. It's about the vibes, the energy. You ever see a girl throwing eggs at our window or crying on the stoop? Nah, man, it's 'cause I got flow. Those certainly were some words put together. Sounds like some real bullshit. Real? Yes. Bullshit? No. Hey, if you want, I'm happy to give you a tutorial. Show you some moves to get you on the on-ramp to Bone Town? Interested? Not even a little bit. Before I can go on arguing my case, Marshall hops down from his perch on the bunk bed's ladder and starts walking backwards with a dismissive wave of his hand. It's your funeral. Never say I wasn't nice to you. Marshall throws his backpack over one shoulder, turning to check his reflection on the small mirror mounted by the door with a focus that tells me this discussion has closed for the time being. Anyway, hit the bricks tonight so I can get laid. Don't come back early unless you want to watch again, you little sicko. I open my mouth to argue, but he's out the door before I can deny being any kind of sicko, big or small. I hate to admit it, but I feel a tiny bit of regret about turning him down. I shake off that regret like a dog shaking off fleas. Marshall can keep his parade of pretty girls dropping their panties at the sight of him. I'm holding out for something real, a connection. Who wants the kind of girl that'd give it up for Marshall of all people? I want the kind of girl who will listen to my stories, who will support me through the ups and downs of campus life, who will maybe even pack me an extra snack and a love note on exam days. Not that a nice rack on top of all that would hurt. Alright, no more waiting for my dream girl to fall from the sky. There's got to be someone on campus looking for a decent guy. Part 1. That being said, I have no idea where to start looking for that hypothetical someone. I'm only just now, a few weeks into my first semester, getting used to navigating the campus. To make matters worse, I have a new class to fit into my weekly schedule. I signed up for it at the beginning of the semester, but the session's only starting today. When was it again? 3 sweet tolls to stir me from my daydream. The bell announces with grand dispassion that I am officially late to Biolab. Shit. I run across campus, as quickly as my rapidly weakening legs and flagging stamina will carry me. Shit. Why did they make this place so goddamn big? I weave between loitering students clumsily as I make my way to and then through the halls of the Department of Science, scurrying up a narrow stairwell to the building's 3rd floor. The door to the lab comes into view shortly, and as I slow to a more polite jog, I attempt to catch my breath. To little avail. Am I really that out of shape? Well, at least if I come looking worse for wear, they'll know I was rushing. I try to push open the door and find, mercifully, it hasn't been locked yet. But approaching, perhaps to do just that, is a cold-eyed beauty. A majestically tall woman decked up in a burgundy coat and a white turtleneck that can't help but tease at the decadent figure beneath. She's a Corvette in all senses of the word. Every ounce of my willpower tugs at my steering wheel to keep me from careening directly into an embankment of staring slack-jawed. Sorry I'm late. I was running here and... Not necessary. Huh? You're just under the wire. Get here earlier next time. Yes, ma'am. Her stare is resolute, though her expression softens just a touch at the yes, ma'am. Is she the professor? She stands aside to allow me through the door, but as she does, Make way, dude! Behind you! Instead of heeding the warning, I stand like a deer in headlights, turning behind me to see the source of the rapidly approaching voice. I can almost hear the soles of her shoes squeal on the tile as she tries to stop herself from barreling into me at full bore like an undertrained pit bull. She does not succeed. Ow, 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 ow. Jeez, I hollered and everything. The weight pinning me to the floor quickly removes itself, and as I look up, I see the source of the voice dusting herself off. The hat-wearing girl who bowled me over is positively bubbling with a sanguine sort of charm. Lurking somewhere inside her cozy getup is a much denser and more dynamic body than she presents, evidenced by the raw energy of her tackle. I can't help but feel overawed. I must be looking at her like a dumb animal. In kind, she looks back down at me with a pitying expression and extends an arm to help me off the ground. I take hold graciously and attempt to right myself. She doesn't seem to actually help lift me at all. She remains upright as I pull myself up, like an anchor. Olive, remind me what I told you about running to class? That I should set out earlier so I don't run through the door as it's closing, Vivian. And you didn't? No, ma'am. Do you have an excuse? No, ma'am. Apologize to him. The hat-wearing girl turns to me guiltily. Sorry about, straight up bulldozing you, dude. Sir. Bulldozing you, sir. Better. The cold-eyed beauty's wrath seems to have abated for now, and the hat-wearing girl sighs in relief. It's no biggie. So, you're Olive? Oh, no, dude, Ollie's fine. Please, I'm Ollie. Oh, okay, Ollie, got it. And you're, Miss Vivian, right? Or Professor Vivian? Just Vi. I'm not the professor. Oh, can I call you Miss Vi, if you prefer? I prefer Vi. Right! 0 for 2 on getting a girl's name right on the first try. I'll get there eventually. You're Damien Darwin, correct? Yep, no relation to Charles Darwin, sorry to disappoint. Her smile is slight and knowing. Did that joke actually work on someone for once? I did not assume so, Mr. Darwin. Oh, Damien's fine. Tough audience. You and Ollie were the last two in the course roster unaccounted for. Professor Walters has decided lab pairings are assigned by order of appearance to the first meeting, which makes you two our last pair. Aw, can't I be your partner, Vi? I will remind you that I am not taking this class, Ollie. Play nice with Damien. Okay. Maybe she's just shy, but she doesn't seem super enthusiastic about the prospect. Not that I blame her. Cute as she is, I'm also wishing Vi was my lab partner. Maybe both, simultaneously? The Professor Walters that Vi mentioned was a sleepy-looking man of late middle age. He was very happy to introduce himself and then immediately shift responsibility for going over lab equipment and safety protocol to Vi. Who exactly is the assistant supposed to be here again? Not that you'd know the truth with how thoroughly Vi covers the material. As she speaks, time marches on with a growing list of tools and protocols alongside. My head is swimming. It's going to be a long semester. After what must have been close to an hour and a half of this, Vi offers us some unstructured time to acclimate to the equipment. Walters indicates his approval with a tacit nod. Of course, no sooner does Vi stop talking than every piece of information she gave me leaks out of my ears all at once. Where the hell to start? I look over to my lab partner, wondering if she has any ideas. Yeah, that tracks. Paralyzed by choice, I hope. Something like that. She acknowledges my words silently and turns her gaze to my lab partner. Ollie. I got this, for sure I got this. I remember 100% of my science classes in high school. We're so good. That 1,000-yard stare does not inspire confidence, Ollie. They seem to have a pretty well-developed rapport for having seemingly met each other at the same time as me. Maybe high school friends? But Vi's the older of the two, surely. How's that work? While I ponder their relationship, it seems like their stare-down has come to a proper standstill. I should probably say something. Actually, I'm a bit more of a hands-on learner. Could you go over the lab equipment with me again? Yes. Thank you for swallowing your pride. I assume you would like to follow suit, Ollie? No, ma'am. Like I said, I'm good. The two stare each other in the eyes for a long, awkward moment before Vi disengages to usher me over to the microscopes. When I look back at Ollie, she's watching me like a hawk. I hope she doesn't expect me to tutor her in kind. My secondhand knowledge isn't worth much. I spend the rest of the period being given a personal crash course on the ins and outs of the lab equipment. That was probably the most exhausting 3 hours of my life. My head hurts. My resolve wavers. My heart yearns for the warm embrace of my bed, or at least the cold embrace of one of my roomie's unattended beverages. But that very same roomie was certain to let me know not to come back to the dorm until after 9 p.m. I guess this is better than having to lose sleep to his escapades, but man, I really wish he'd go nail chick somewhere else for a change. I'm never going to finish my FF7 replay at this rate. And if he nails anyone in my bed again, I'm bleaching all his polos. In my wandering fugue, I managed to arrive at the campus coffee shop, a weary warrior finally reaching sanctuary. This place was positively buzzing when I passed it earlier, but now the crowds have quieted down. Guess not a ton of people are going for coffee and half-stale croissants at 6 p.m. After placing an order sleepily and receiving it a few minutes later, I find a quiet corner seat and park in it. My only companions? A mocha latte in a dark red cup and an optimistically named croque madame nestled in a yellow paper wrapper. I guess out here, croque madame translates to lukewarm ham and cheese. Warm comforts, at least, and delicious. I can feel a fast friendship forming between myself and this sunset breakfast. Suppose I've got worse things to do than settle in for a while. But how to entertain myself? After some soul-searching tells me that entertainment isn't as important as starting the semester strong, I reluctantly choose to get started on my assigned readings. Biolab, with its lack of required studying, sounds like a dream, until the attached Intro to Biology course brings the nightmare. Its generously termed textbook is a little more like a murder weapon, some 600 pages of cheap paper stock crammed into a flimsy 3-ring binder, weighing about as much as my mom's dog. And it's horribly, awfully, terribly dry. Science is probably my worst subject. All the room in my brain that ought to have been reserved for basic chemistry and biology has been filled by video game trivia. Time slips away from me in fits and spurts as I struggle to replace my memories of Parasite Eve with a functioning understanding of the component parts of a cell. Man, this sucks. Real science would be more interesting if it had big scary monsters and killer babes. After a number of pages, I press the heels of my hands to my eyes and let out a sigh. Time to take a break before I stuff so much into my head it falls out of my ears. I furrow my brow as I gaze around the cafe and sip my coffee, annoyed at the amount of time and space currently between me and my bed. Only a few tables are occupied, and I watch each of them in turn. There's a table with a sunburnt bro waving his arms as he tells some sports story to his tablemate, a cute brunette who's surely only pretending to be interested. And further away, there's a table with a variety pack of nerds in various shapes and sizes, some kind of card game scattered on the table before them. One of them, a girl with blue hair, coyly smacks a painfully acne-spotted beanpole of a boy, and then giggles behind her hand. Furthest away, on the opposite side of the seating area, 2 girls quietly enjoy a coffee together, their backs to me. Their words spoken too softly to hear, I see their fingers gently intertwine. And then a tender kiss, and a shared smile after. Tooth-rotting sweetness, enough to bring a lonely boy to his knees. Fuck, man, that could be me! I could be one of those girls, or with one of those girls, whichever! And just like that, Marshall's fleas are climbing all over me again. Why him, and not me? Why all of them, and not me? Why am I unable to emerge from my boyish chrysalis and become a man? I'm nice! I shower! I'm an all-around stand-up guy. All I want is love, romance. I can't take it any longer. The emptiness in my soul when I see happy couples multiplies fourfold every time I'm forced to witness it. If this were a TV show, this would be the moment I'd stand up, jump on the table, and yell, I need a girlfriend like I need breath in my fucking lungs. But I ball all that energy up and roll it out into a long, withering sigh instead, letting the static charge building in my lungs scatter fruitlessly. I suppose I'm still feeling worked up from that dream earlier, but I've had no luck putting the thought to bed. A want. I'm struck with a loneliness, so overwhelming that science must not have a name for it yet. A yearning that has me imagining filling that hole with maybe Ollie? Our lab partnership feels just a little kismet, like it was meant to bloom into something more. And she seems like someone who knows how to have fun. Or maybe Vi? She seems fond of me, like there might be some gravity pulling us to each other. And she's certainly abound with charisma, among other things. Idly nursing the cold dregs of my coffee, I look up at the clock, just shy of 9 p.m. I managed to waste damn near 3 hours feeling sorry for myself without the faintest idea of how to turn my dreams into reality. Clearly, this can't go on. I hate to admit it, but I think it's time to swallow my pride. You had me worried. I thought you were going to fess up to something serious. This is softball. Loosen up. The burden of my life and my greatest nemesis is oddly receptive to being asked for advice. Must be in a good mood. Or maybe he feels he owes me one. In either case, it probably has something to do with the disarray of my bed sheets. Listen, this is simple, okay? Get over here. Let me tell you a secret. He crosses one leg over the opposite knee, then holds his arms out expectantly. I'm not sitting in your lap. Boring. Problem 1, by the way. Second problem, basically, is that you're a huge dweeb. Go fuck yourself. Okay, defensive. I get it, the PS2 is cool or whatever. But I know that's not what's in your heart. The siren song of the PS2 is distracting you from your goals, your manly desires. You think? Stay with me here. There's a club fair tomorrow. Go do something new. Live a little. You're not bad looking, alright? You just need to adjust your attitude. Your mindset. Listen, girls don't want pussies or kittens, they want tigers. But you don't gotta be an actual tiger as long as you pass for one to the girl you're trying to lift. Get me? Square your shoulders. Fake it till you make it. You're in the prime of your life. Sure. Good. Find a star and ride it. I don't want to see you back here until nightfall. You really think it'll be that easy? No, but one of us is getting lucky tomorrow, so I'm gonna need the place. Till about... Again? A club, huh? I look down from the 3rd floor while the professor drones on about something or other. I'll catch up later. Anything off the syllabus isn't my problem. Students mill around setting up posters and tables. A few cursory notes are played on a trumpet. The chatter floats upward and in through the slightly open window. I can just barely see some of the booth names. Marching band, student government, sororities and fraternities. I always wondered what kind of guy I'd be if I joined up with one. My stomach is a little weak for it. Ahem. Today's the club fair. Acapella, improv comedy. I mean, I could have a hidden talent. Cycling? I rode a bike once. You students are at such an exciting time in your lives. Get out. Cooking, that sounds like it'd be full of cute girls. Something new. Yeah, this is exciting. Anime? Sure enough, right as the lecture hall door swings shut behind me, the hand-painted anime club sign shines into my eyes. A CD player sings a lively tune. I try to walk past. I really, really do. This isn't the way I want to start my sparkling new adult life. No more bootleg DVDs in the basement with my boys. There are just some things people grow out of, you know? And then I see her. At first, I think her voice is what catches my attention, but it's so much simpler than that. The girl manning the anime club booth is enticingly colorful, bordering on gaudy, but she shows just enough restraint to avoid crossing that line. She has the aura of someone that tried a little too hard to get attention in high school and has since found a balance that appeals to some innate masculine chemistry happening inside my body. Naturally attractive, but meticulously adorned with girly accessories. A peacock that picked all of her own feathers. Or, like, a sexy Christmas tree. Oh god, her pretty smile is making me stupid. This requires a tactical retreat. I need to go breathe into a paper bag for 20 minutes, before even considering... Her eyes meet mine. I close my jaw several seconds too late. Oh, hey! Shit. No, I mean, Hori, hello, sorry? This is Anime's fault, somehow. Okay, so this is Anime Club. Do you like anime? Do I say yes here? But anime is for nerds, but I'm a nerd. No, now I'm not one. I'm a romantic superstar who only likes trying cool new stuff. No. I mean, yes. Wrong answer, dipshit. This is the Anime Club. Oh yeah? Name 3 anime. A bead of sweat drips down my spine despite the cool air. I say the first thing that comes to mind. Golden Boy, GTO, Cutie Honey. Whoa. What are you, some kind of ancient pervert or something? You don't get it. The plot. Whoa, Rainy, baby, don't chew up our new members right away. Sorry about her. She's a little shy around new people, right? Hold on, don't suddenly pretend to be shy now. Welcome to the Anime Club table. I'm your delightful club vice president, Gabrielle. And this is your delightful normal club member, Rainy. Sorry, Rain. Nice to meet you. I'm Damien. So, Gabrielle and Rainy. Can I call you that? No. Why are you the one answering? Pfft. I might have overlooked this girl entirely if she hadn't jumped in to demand my nerd credentials, but I'm glad I didn't. Posted up behind the club's table with a sketchbook, Rain has a wallflower charm that complements Gabrielle's carefully manicured flair. Her subdued laughter, the way she uses the hand cradling her pencil to cover the ghost of a smile threatening to curl the corners of her lips. Yeah, she's not bad. Brimming with potential, one might say. A little on the short side, but who wouldn't go for a petite girl? Slender, waifish perhaps. Then again, she could be hiding some lethal curves under an outfit like that, but could lack the confidence to flaunt them. Or, if she's flat, one of my friends once said, when you hug, they're closer to your heart. I'm a boobs guy myself, but far be it from me to write someone off just for that. There's something erotic about imagining the whole thing fits in your hand. Feels masculine in a caveman kind of way. Not that I've felt any yet. A frame small enough that I could just throw her on the bed and slip my hand under... Wait, maybe she's not even wearing a bra? That being said, let's not overlook the most important detail here. She's unassuming. If I wanted to follow Marshall's advice, I would judge Rain as being the best balance between attainable and desirable that I've encountered so far. A girl squarely in my league. Now that's an enticing prospect. Hello? Did you have a question? I'm shaken back to reality. So, what do you ladies do in this anime club? Oh, a ton. We usually meet on Wednesday evenings to watch a rotating anime, but right now, all hands are on deck for a little con we run every year around Halloween. Small but mighty. Kids' parents even drive them in from a few hours away, you know? I'd call us in the top tier of college cons. We have talks, vendors, karaoke, a maid cafe. Maid cafe? Yeah, you know, like, welcome home, master. Let's do a magic spell to make your food taste better. Except, you know, we're Americans, so it's mostly coffee and cookies. But they're good. And I make all the uniforms myself. They're super cute. Look, here's a photo from last year. She pulls an album from the table and flips it open. Pretty neat, huh? I deserve an Academy Award for keeping my expression tuned to neutral interest as this book of delights is served to me like a gourmet meal. I've seen pictures of maids before, obviously, but it immediately occurs to me what's so different about this time. It's a real girl. One sitting right next to me. one who could be wearing this while sitting right next to me. She has to know what this is doing to me, right? It's devious, but I love it. Gabrielle is a natural when it comes to bringing the fantasy to life. The camera loves her. Rain, well, she's not actually in the album, but a man can imagine, can't he? I flip to the next page and pretend to give everyone in the photos an equal amount of attention, but no one else is on her level. Pausing on a picture where Gabrielle has her hip cocked to the side, she grins and throws up peace signs with both hands. The bottom of her uniform skirt is caught on something, and I swear to God I feel my pupils dilate at the flash of skin I spy between the top of her thigh-high stocking and the bottom of her fluffy petticoat. Could this be absolute territory? Wow, Gabrielle, that sounds so fascinating. I want to see it. I want to see it so bad. You got your inside and outside thoughts mixed up, stupid. A maid uniform would look good on you too, Rain. Oh, huh? I mean, you're wrong, but... I know, right? I've been telling her, this is the year. Last year, she left me all by my lonesome. But this year, I've even got far enough to get her measurements. Quit it. And look at you, are you blushing? You never do that when I tell you how cute you are. Anyway, we meet every Wednesday, which is today. And we're super short on manual labor. I mean, strong guys that want to help us set everything up. And maybe get a little maid cafe voucher, you know, as a treat. I'll think about it. I wander off into the quad, playing it cool. Gabrielle drives a compelling bargain. But it's not like I'll just throw myself at the first club that comes my way. Well, I didn't turn my back on my rosy normie college life, I barter with myself. I'm just trying it out, seeing what sticks. It turns out most of the other clubs are pretty good at sniffing out whether you have experience or not. And the ones that don't, well, not exactly populated with the most sociable of people. Not sure why they bothered showing up to their tables in the first place. I had briefly considered joining the camping club, but they asked me where I like to hike. Got out of that one pretty smoothly, if I do say so myself. The show they're watching, not exactly my style, but the volume is low and a faint murmur of conversation fills the room. They don't seem to be bothered by the boy getting violently stabbed to death. And there are my recruiters. Jackpot. Gabrielle and Rain sit in the first row, conversing quietly. Gabrielle has a few notebooks open in front of her. Rain has what looks like a sketchbook. I work up the courage to slide into the seat next to her. Hey. Rain snaps her notebook closed. Whoa, relax, I'm just saying hi. Remember me? I'm from the fair. Drawing something? I didn't know you guys were artists. Keep your voice down. Don't be shy. Ow! She kicks me under the desk. You're disturbing the ambiance. A splatter of blood paints the screen that I had delicately been avoiding looking at. A man sitting next to the TV cringes and turns the volume down slightly. The ambiance. She takes a sip out of her thermos and looks at me coolly. The ambiance. The conversation lapses. Rain looks pointedly at her notebook, but doesn't open it back up. I'm working on a map for the con. My savior leans over Rain to show me her drawing. Her voice is beautiful, just above a whisper. Her breath smells faintly like green apple. We have this whole big theater to work with, and then this hallway of classrooms. A perfectly manicured nail slides down the paper. Pretty exciting, huh? Yeah. Want to join in, right? Well, we're having a bonfire this Saturday. You should come. Get to know everyone. The bonfire? Yeah, our first club party of the year. It's always a ton of fun. Pretty please? We could really use more volunteers for the con. Sure. I have absolutely no idea what I just agreed to. The way she's leaning over, shirt gaping at the front, well, it's got me thinking with a different head, if you know what I mean. Can you get off me now? I was so enthralled I hadn't noticed that Gabrielle had all but climbed into Rain's lap on her way to me. Rainy, sweetie, you wound me. Ugh. She turns around to smush Rain's face fully into her chest. I'm beginning to get the impression that Gabrielle isn't big on social cues. but right now I'm in favor of this. So you're joining us, right? Because you love setting up tables so much, right? Don't mind if I do. Wait, this is still about tables. She's still talking to me, but her attention is now squarely on Rain. Gabrielle has wrapped her arms around the other girl's head, muffling any protests with the pillowy cradle of her cleavage. Rain doesn't stop trying to peel away, though I notice she isn't exactly kicking and screaming. In fact, her ears seem to have turned red with embarrassment. I'm torn. This is a premium view, but I've never wanted to switch bodies with an unassuming shy girl so badly. Or ever? Have I wished that? This is frying my brain. Hardcore. Come on. Oh, shit. Her hand moves from the back of Rain's head to my shoulder. The light touch makes my head spin. Her radiant smile is the wind-up. Pretty please? Her doe eyes and thick lashes are the knockout punch. Yeah, sure. I love tables. TKO. Yay! Did you hear that, Rainy? You lucky bastard. His spirited kick lands exactly where Rain's did. Ow. I'm not even mad that you ignored my advice. You went straight to the most desperate tier of the social ladder and hit a home run. She called you a pervert, and the other one showed you her sexy photos? Man, you are golden. I don't think that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. You're not starting off in the friend zone. You're starting off as a sexual being. And they still want you around. They're testing the waters with you. Now that they know your sick fantasies, they're going to be wondering what it feels like when you have those sick fantasies about them. Here's what you have to do. Go to a party together, or, whatever anime guys do. Go to the library, have a few drinks together, during or after. Then, whenever you can, touch her shoulder, her thigh, whatever. And if she touches back, strike while the iron's hot. One of them will be jumping your bones in no time. I'm not just looking for a hookup. Yeah, you're looking for love, right? That's what you keep saying. But listen, put that shit after. Unless you were two Catholics dating in middle school, hell, even then, the girl of your dreams is fucking someone else right now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No woman is going to want a kissless, quick-shot virgin when there's another guy with exactly the same shit to offer who can make her come without an instruction manual. Understand? You make some points, but Marshall looks pleased with himself. Of course I do. What can I say? That's the power of experience. And I'm doing all this for free? Man, I'm such a nice guy. Where does this guy get his confidence from? Aren't we the same age? How the hell did he get into college if this is the only shit he thinks about? Anyway, I sense that nothing I say is going to change his mind. I file the advice away for later, just in case. And that is where we're going to end part 1, because we've met all 4 girls, we've got the basic premise established. I'm going to be reading through this entire thing, so look forward to it. They'll be out when I'm done. If you enjoyed this, look in the description. I've got the link to the game itself, so you can leave it a review if you're enjoying it, and also to follow me on Blue Sky if you want some little previews of things as I continue to work on this and other readings and stuff like that. So I will see you next time. Bye.